Hey everyone, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting, and tonight we are once again talking Invincible. We got hardcover number 4, which is like issues 36 through 47, and I got my usual crew with me for this tonight. We got, oh man, the Unruly Simeon. What is going on?
I have less than no idea. It's frightening.
Less than no idea. All right. We got Kirk. Come say your mind. What's happening?
What's going on? I'm just ready to talk some Invincible.
Me too. I'm. It's one of those things. Just like I just want to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's hard to wait.
It's been a great read.
Yes. And last but certainly not least, we got my man Adam Daymers. What is happening?
Not much. Less than unruly.
Less than unruly.
Nada.
It would be hard to have less knowledge inside your cranium than I do.
I don't believe that at all. I do not believe that at all. I see all that stuff you read behind you. Like,
it's a humble man.
It may not be useful, but there's a lot of knowledge in there. So.
It's very Trebeckian.
Yes. All right. So we got a couple people hanging out in the chat already. We had Rob, not with Near Mint, was hanging out early. What's going on, my friend?
What's up, Rob?
Sharon Live with 2 YouTubers came on just before we started, so hopefully Sharon will go there. And Lady Fantastic, what is going on? She joined me recently for a couple of shows where we broke down Southern Bastards. Those were awesome.
It's a series that I want. That's the only reason I didn't watch is because I want to read that.
You should read it. It's good. So we'll see if we ever get the finale. So that's the only bad thing about that series is we've not gotten the finale yet. So, all right. So, what did you guys think of this little section of Invincible? I'm gonna start with Daymers. What did you think of this section?
So, a lot of it sort of went the way I thought it would. There was definitely, a few little twists and quirks and stuff put in there. The astronaut coming back.
Yeah, the astronaut coming back to be a part of it.
The very end of the chapter. I mean, the 47.
Yeah.
Just a few odd and ends. That was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I felt like, and Unruly said he might have to jump out for a minute. He had a work thing that may come up, so he may be back in a minute. Oh, no, that wasn't it. He just had to check his camera for a second. So, I would say, for me, I felt like this was they wrapped up a bunch of stuff that they'd set up earlier and then set up a bunch of new stuff to come later. So it's kind of, it was like...
It's just like roll it in.
Yeah, just rolling more stuff through. Kirk, what about you? What did you think of this section of the story?
With all the action that happened, I loved it. It's just I really feel bad for our protagonist, our main protagonist, Invincible. It just seems like Marks just cannot catch a break at all. Like I'm not talking about as a superhero. I'm just talking about as a college student.
Yeah.
Just seeing him struggle, trying to be I guess you could say human. It's been interesting.
I do feel like this was an interesting thing, because there was a lot of action, but I feel like the main part of this was really just his angst of stuff going on with him. And the rest of it was just surrounding the thing, but it was really about his struggle with college and his struggle with girls and his struggle just finding his place. And And really, what about you, man? What do you think of this section of the story?
I think Kirkman is the Machine Gun Kelly of comic writers. Just rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat. No, man, he's like a consummate amateur boxer. I mean, he doesn't go for the knockout. He's getting points. Some of them are brutal, but just, when you think you're about to get a breather, he comes in with something out of nowhere, and it's just nonstop, because he's not hitting hard. He's just hitting for point. But it's great. I love it.
I will say it's one of the things I felt like I really enjoyed this volume, but I also am more okay, I'm ready for some of the bigger payoffs that we haven't got yet. And there's so much going on, and yet I felt like it was like I found myself ready for the next thing constantly. So it's just an interesting. We're building up. He's starting to finally maybe figure out. Like one of the things we've seen him struggle with just how strong he is, and like really getting power up. And I feel like he's finally starting to come into his own as a hero, and his personal life is crap. So it's kind of what's happening. Welcome to being a superhero. At least is this Peter Parker or is this Invincible?
It's definitely like a Peter Parker-esque like situation, because no matter how hard he tries, it's just like life is just downhill. I'm really wondering if he's gonna like get drop out of school or not. Like I'm hoping his mom can keep convincing him to like stay on top of that. But I'm biased because I'm always pushed for go to college.
Shockingly, the teacher wants him to finish school. I'm stunned by this. So
I think he should become the world's greatest plumber.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Could work for Uber.
Yeah, I don't think I get where you're coming from, and it'd be nice to see him like be able to accomplish that, but I don't think that's where the story's going.
I can see that. I'm just like, oh.
I think he's gonna give it up, but we'll see.
A major deviation from the Peter Parker parallels.
Yeah,
Peter was always struggling for that next dime. This motherfucker
got
a government stipend.
Yeah, he's like, I already get paid. He even said, I already get paid enough to like, to be secured. Like it's nothing. But it's like, I think you're right, JP. Like I think when his professor was like, you already failed. Why are you even coming? And he was just like, all right. That would let me know. I was like, oh, he's gonna drop out.
Hey, and plus he's spending so much time off the freaking planet. When is he ever going to spend that money?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is I mean, Mom's got money to spend, but he's like,
he should have just went with Alan. He should have just went with Alan.
He might as well have. Well, at that point, he was still trying to make. So let's dig into like some of the points here because we're dancing around a bunch of it. But where do you guys want to start? Who wants to start with some of this? Do we want to start with the personal life or some of the crazy story like fights and everything else that he gets into here?
Let's get the fights out of the way.
Yeah,
we can just jump into like personal stuff.
So we finally get the which actually, if you've watched season 1 of the show, you see in season 1, but we get the payoff of the Rihanna men.
Yes,
like their friend that disappeared and the D.A. Sinclair or whatever. So what do we think about that? And that also takes us to the very end. We get a reveal later about this, but this guy is like maybe, and like Mark fights some pretty sick villains, but this is kind of one of the sicker ones. He's just taking people and just like experimenting on them against their will and turning them into his like little zombie.
It's not just that it's clear that he takes so much joy in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are some people that you'll see in comics and stuff that will do stuff like that, but
with no emotion, though.
Like an ends to a means to them.
Yeah,
he's just having fun.
Yeah. Like like when Mark's friend and I'm blanking on the friend's name.
Rick, I think.
Well, Rick's the one he already had turned, his roommate, William.
Oh, William, yeah.
Yeah, when William's like, you're crazy, you're not going to do anything to me. And he's like, actually, I'm going to do whatever I want, and I'm going to enjoy it. Like, it's like, I think, most of my captains have been drunk or insane to provide me any amusement, but I think you'll scream plenty. Like, he is just one sick son of a bitch.
Yeah. Perfect for a supervillain, though.
Oh, yeah.
R.I.P. to his jaw, though.
Oh, God, yeah. When Mark finally gets a hold of him, like, just, like, that shot of, like, the jaw. Let me make that big real quick. Make it bigger. Like, where he hits him in the jaw. That is just, like...
That's gnarly.
Like, dude.
I finally watched that
anytime
episode
soon.
from the show.
But you know what? I really love the comic relief of the Lizard League.
Oh. So yeah, we get. So that's our first big thing is like there's just a bunch of not necessarily random because he set them up. He set most of these characters up through the thing, but I do feel like this volume is full of just kind of like there's the overarching arcs of Mark, which is clearly like his people and that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of like other little side villains. It's like, oh, we're gonna have a little arc on this, and he's gonna have a good fight, and then we're gonna move on to something else. And these people aren't really important or anything else. But yeah, we get the Reaniman, and then we get the Lizard League, and we get the guys from Mars, and we get let's see, what was the other one? We get
We get a
young lady.
Voltramite. We get the monster.
Yeah, the young lady
yeah,
from
we get
Voldemort,
the other Viltrumite, and we get the guys that he fought before that were employed by that one guy. They're just the little criminal guys, and we get it's a series of, and we get Replicate's brother. You know, we just get a series of these like not necessarily random, but sort of random, like, you know, villain of the weeks kind of thing. I feel like in this series, although most of these obviously go over more than one issue, but like I do feel like it's kind of an old TV serial villain of the week kind of thing, X-Files kind of thing, while the bigger story's going on in the background.
That's true.
And that's what I love about it. It's nonstop action. You know, it's not a 3-issue arc dragging. Oh, and now we're going to take an issue and a half to reveal the villain, and then another year to fucking maybe finally confirm it. This is Rock'em Sock'em Robots, man.
Yeah.
It's a great change of pace for most stuff. And don't forget the 2 time-traveling martial artists.
They just barely appear that they're trying to
disappear.
Yeah. They get what they need to get out. So yeah,
and I hope that pays off later down the line.
Oh,
too.
I'm sure it will. But I mean,
they're like, we secured the timeline or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
So, question. So we were talking about though the Reaniman, and I want to finish that up. So we get the big reveal. Let's just skip to the end. That after he captures and defeats the Sinclair guy, that Cecil's put him to work.
Yep.
And like this is the last part of this section. So what do you think of like the whole time? I feel like we talked about this a little bit off air. Cecil is completely like.
I mean, but it makes sense because like these things have gone toe to toe with Invincible and was able to like bring him down. So if they can bring him down, they can bring Omni-Man down, which means they can bring Voldemites down. So if they're coming for an invasion, he's thinking about, they're going to come to invade the planet. We need to have like a back.
I mean, he's making a deal with the devil because he sees it as an opportunity, and Cecil's going to do. I really said this before we started. Cecil's going to do whatever he thinks he needs to. But I mean, it's just slimy government guy as usual.
Pretty much.
And so what do you guys think of that? You can't tell me that the only guy on my side is the blood-sucking lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, great quote.
Definitely. So anything else about that little particular side story? Daymers, you got anything about that? And what Cecil? We see that Cecil just continues to be like, do whatever he thinks it takes. No real moral character necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was, not totally on the up and up, but I didn't think he would go that far.
Right.
I could see him employing the guy and trying to get some knowledge of stuff from him, but not really building an army like it looks like he's doing.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's be realistic. Talking about a freaking comic book. But if you were
keep it real,
if you were charged with the defense of the planet, and and all this weird ass shit was real, I would be willing to go to any lengths whatever it took. I mean, you'd want somebody like that in that position, you know.
But would you give in to the Voldemites so you can help humanity?
Yeah.
For a couple generations.
well, hey, you know what? She's got a good point.
Yeah, but then Cecil is like he's like ceased to exist though. Our governments will cease to exist too.
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like Cecil, it's not just about protecting, for Cecil, it's not just about protecting the planet, it's also about protecting the United States and, you know.
Freedom.
Yeah, and there's a little bit, it's not just like, oh, Viltrumites are going to destroy the world, it's that Viltrumites are going to destroy our government as much as the world to a certain degree, I think. So, but yeah, so it'll be interesting to see. I can't imagine. I feel like there's going to be like a payoff to this before we get to the actual Viltrumites that Mark's going to find out about this, and that's not going to go over well at all.
Because they just passed it over like it was nothing in the TV show. Because he was just, you know, when his dad went ballistic.
So we'll see. I don't know.
The saving grace of all this is Mark's genuine good character. You know, I mean, you see all these other Viltrumites, the handful that we've actually seen, they fly off the handle at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
He's done it a time or two.
Yeah.
But only under extreme provocation, and he was immediately regretful. He's a genuine.
He has remorse.
And that's pretty rare.
Yeah. So yeah, Red Horse, we are into what, issues 36 to 47 of like 144 or something, I think, something like that. So yeah, there are like some of the stuff is still that we're reading now still happened in season 1, but most of this is not happened yet in the show. So where we're at. So we're just reading along. We're on volume. Well, I'm reading the hardcover, so this is volume 4 of 12. So
I've got the compendium, and this is the last of the first compendium.
Yeah, there you go. So that kind of gives you an idea where we are in the story. And there's 3 compendiums?
Yep.
So yeah, we're about a third of the way. So, all right. Unruly mentioned the Lizard League. So we get, and we'll talk about the Mars. We get payoff from the Mars guys later, or we'll talk about that later, but we get payoff from that setup earlier. But while all the heavy hitters are off world, we get this Lizard League trying to take over a nuke, and we get to see Rex and the I guess technically they're second string, but I feel like they're more like third string.
Yeah, like C-class.
Yeah, you know.
Hey, they get the job done, God bless them.
Well,
kind of.
Sorta.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
poor Rex. He got messed up.
And he was the least messed up.
Yeah.
I mean,
that part when he got his hand bit off.
Oh yeah, the guy bites his hand. I mean, it is super violent, and basically everyone there with Rex dies. And I love when the backup that comes in.
Oh, the little shrink dude got eaten too. I forgot
shrink
about
dude
that.
Got eaten, and Duplicate got appears to have died. And then there's another one. Who was the other one? There was another one with them.
There was somebody else.
I thought there was a third. I thought there was another one. Get to the beginning of that fight.
The shrink dude.
Didn't you all expect when the shrink guy got eaten for him to just grow and bust out of him?
That's what I would have thought. Yeah. That would have been smart.
Or maybe that it was a shrink guy, and maybe it was just those 3. I thought there was a 4th one, but maybe there's just those 3. It turns out, looking back. So yeah, the shrink guy got eaten, and Duplicate appears to get killed, and Rex gets messed up.
Yeah.
And I love the guy that comes in to help them after the fact. He's like, I think everyone's dead.
Yeah. He's like bulletproof. He's like, pew. He's like, huh?
Yeah.
But hey, isn't this a nice little redemption for Rex? I mean, he just lays it all on the line, loses his hand, gets shot in the head.
Yeah.
Doesn't.
But I don't think. Yeah. It was definitely a growing moment for him.
definitely like Rex, like growing up, taking some responsibility, and of course, like he still gets blamed later for like my duplicate's brother. You killed her.
Oh, I thought he was gonna kill him. I thought he was gonna kill him.
Well, I think that was exactly what he was going to do until we find out that she doesn't die, that she had hidden her zero,
yeah,
her original somewhere, and was living life through one of her duplicates, which is people that have, like, I've seen that power before, and it's always weird, like how that works, but to me, but how that would work, but.
And really, she's just a normal human, right?
Yeah.
So there's 1,000 of you. Big hairy deal, like Invincible.
As this guy is just like ripping her in half and like, you see just pieces of her everywhere. It's just like, I will say Ryan Otley does the the gore pretty well on some of this stuff. It's just.
The head explosion, yeah.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, what are they? The squirts, the squids,
the squiddards, the
squiddards, or something like that.
Yeah,
that's squiddards. Those things scare me.
He's taken all these tropes that we've seen at least once or twice before, if not out the ass, and he's making them his own. They seem fresh.
I mean, basically the sequids. I mean, they're basically Starro.
I was going to say.
If you saw the Suicide Squad, it's basically instead of those starfish attaching to somebody's face and having one consciousness, they're all just a little starfish and they have one consciousness, but they just need somebody solid to attach to, and they couldn't attach to the Martians. So, once they get that one human, then they all work together. And, there's a ton of them suckers. And apparently the Martians have been making them tougher because, they're no threat to us. We'll make them tougher so they can do more work for us. Which is like, good grief.
And now they're
like a good idea.
So I'm like, these things are not on their faces, but yet the Martians are just basically bending to their will.
Well, I guess once they had one, then they had like an active mind, like they could think for themselves again.
Yeah.
Is that? Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way I understood it. That if there's no host for them to have, then they're like individual consciousnesses. Between all of them, so they don't work together. They're just independent, basically.
Right.
If they've got like a host, then they've got one mind shared between all of them.
Yeah, and they can actually focus and work together, things as opposed to like they're just too scattered when they're not strong enough without at least a host. Is kind of the way it comes across. And once they have a host, then just via their numbers, they're just kind of overwhelming. And they're apparently pretty, there's enough of them that, even the Martians were like doing what they wanted.
Yeah.
But it's just like, so this is, what is it like? I mean, it's Starro, it's the Borg, it's this whole, very common kind of trope, just a little twist on it. And, we see them trying to fight, and we see Robot and trying to, obviously devise a device to basically break up their consciousness that they have
from his Iron Man suit.
Yeah, in his Iron Man suit. He's now inside the robot instead of
He's a robot in a robot.
Well, I love they talk about it when they're flying out there about like that. It's bigger. Like, did he put on weight? Because he's a sign of it now. Before. Like, what does she say when he's like? I forget now. But there's a line basically along those lines of like,
and that was a pretty good explanation for
saves the day.
Yeah, she's like, I like the new look, Robot. It's husky.
Yeah.
Well, and it gave a pretty good reason for him having to be there.
Yeah.
Him saying, "Yeah, I can't reach that far."
Yeah, he doesn't have a way to like contact it and continue to talk to it. So no, that made perfect sense. No, I thought that whole fight was really well done. I thought it was a clever use of Eve's powers. It was a clever use of kind of the you get the punch first, think later heroes, which is kind of what Immortal is. Even though he's been the leader, he's kind of like punch first, think later. It's like
he's been going through it emotionally though. I feel so bad for him.
Well, at that point though, he didn't know she was like. Yeah. This was before.
Yeah.
Before, because the other thing happens while he's gone, which I just found that to be a weird. Did anybody else find them two being together kind of weird?
Very much so. But I mean, he's been around for like thousands of years, so it's like his way of thinking is different, I suppose.
For sure. I mean, I guess like she's been like we haven't really got to know her. Like she's been in the background since the beginning, but we really haven't had her like even hardly have a conversation with anybody. Like she's just sort of there, so it's hard to say like that it's weird. It was just a little bit of a surprise that they were suddenly together, and then suddenly not because she appears to die or whatever. But
ripped to shreds.
Let's be honest though, if a woman, an attractive woman, showed interest in you, that could make as many of her as she wanted, and she was into that, she could be the most boring human being on earth. And I'm gonna date her for a couple of months.
Okay, just a couple of months.
Well, and if you think about his lifespan, getting married, and spending maybe a decade or so with her isn't that long.
Yeah,
it's like
it's a couple of months.
It's a couple of months. It's a couple of weeks, to him. Although he does seem to like when he does seem to actually like really care about her, which is like maybe the first person we've seen him actually care about in any way, shape, or form during the whole story, because he gets pretty messed up when he thinks she's dead, and does some stupider stuff that he's done before. But
he almost got murdered by Alan.
Yeah, he does actually almost admit. Yeah, he almost gets murdered by Alan. We do get the return of Alan the alien.
He is like swole Alan.
Yeah, speaking of buffed up, robot got husky. I don't know. I think this is more than husky for Alan. He's got some good steroids going at the moment. He's on the good.
And it wasn't like he was a chump to begin with.
No.
So is he because there's been times where they mention like he keeps making these hints that he might be half Voldemort. Like is that anybody pick up that?
Like the hints were that he's been experimented on to like that he's been to
he has like Voldemort DNA now.
Yeah, and it appears like he talks about like that maybe after his last battle that he's almost immortal at this point.
Yeah, he can't, or at least he can't be hurt anyway.
Well, he can't die. He can be hurt, but he can't die. And it's it's interesting to see where they go with him because he is definitely a lot tougher. Because he kind of gets when we seen him last, he kind of doesn't last more than a couple of seconds against one, and then when we see him again, and she's like hitting him, and he's like, "Oh, this isn't actually." He's at least as tough as she is, if not tougher.
And
she's like, my husband can't even hit me that hard.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. My fourth husband couldn't hit me that hard. Yeah.
Dang, I missed that part.
What were you gonna say, Damaris?
That's what I was.
Yeah.
That he was taken as well as he was given.
Definitely. So, what do we think of his little plot to like get himself captured to go find his dad? I think that was an interesting little plot twist.
I like that. That was hilarious.
I like it.
I think that sets up. I don't.
It's a little crazy, but I like it.
It is definitely a little crazy. So.
It's like team up.
Oh yeah,
Alan and Omni-Man team up.
Hey,
That'd be awesome.
We forgot a villain who was only there for all of one page, Octoboss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. He needs an English lesson.
Yes.
Him needs English lesson.
Yeah, we got Octoboss, and then we got like the red guy. There was like this red giant that was there for like a page.
Oh, he was only 8 years old.
Yeah, like there was like a kid or something. And then we only got one page of the giant like serpent thing that was attacking the cruise ship before she just like waylays that. So, yeah.
Before she Captain Marvel it.
Yeah, that's like Captain Marvel.
Can I kill that thing?
Yeah, can I kill
sure,
that?
go ahead.
Sure. So now that we're there, what is her name? Let's see. What is her name?
I forgot what her name is.
I have already too. I'm trying to find the page where she like shows up. What is?
Does she ever say her name?
I thought she
That's a good question.
Well,
Well,
1 minute in the air.
Anissa.
Anissa. Anissa. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't remember. She does say it. I don't remember where it was at. So, what do we think of her appearance?
In 1 minute.
Yeah. Yeah, she comes down, threatens to kill his mom, and is like Vin's like trying to recruit him.
I'm sorry that you find that my ways, our people's way, is a little, different. But I had to talk to you.
Yeah, there's fundamental cultural differences.
Come with me or murder. They have to go on. They have to survive to get executed.
Yeah, they have to like be at full health before they can like be executed.
That's so hard. I wonder what an execution by the Vollmites.
Yeah, I mean, how do you even kill one? Like, really?
It's got to be a powerful guillotine.
I would.
And what kind of metal is this prison ship made out of? They've got totally different elements if it can contain a Voltramite.
What?
They had like their own version of like Sentinels, like trying to stop Omni-Man.
Yeah. Yeah, they had like their guards were like these different, and then they also had Voltramite guards, but they had it's I don't know, yeah, it's interesting, but I want to get back to her for a second. What do you think of this lady and her little offer to Mark to join the Empire?
She almost had me convinced.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. I mean, she was like, yeah, you'll have the best world you'll ever have. Yeah, we'll, destroy the planet, but not any sooner than you guys were going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Humanity will be gone by then. Don't worry. They'll flourish for generations before then.
Yeah. It is interesting, I mean, there is a logic to it, but but he's right. They're going to be, slaves for peaceful slaves, but slaves for the rest of their existence.
We'll have good health, food every day.
Yeah,
just gotta bend to our will.
Do exactly what we want. And if you so much as think about like rising up, you're dead. Go ahead, Unruly.
Mark is still a kid. He's like 19.
Yeah.
He's got all this power. He sees this unstoppable threat coming at him, offering him like stewardship of the earth. That'd have to be a tempting offer for anybody.
Yeah. Like in some ways, I'm sure, but I also think because he's 19 and he's a little bit idealistic still, because I can see, if he plays it off to a certain degree, he probably postpones an actual confrontation. If he pretends to, go along with it here. Because it went for, when they left him after they took his dad, they could be, what they say, 50, 100 years or whatever. And then she comes back and it's like 5 months. If you don't take this offer, it's going to be 5 months or 5 years. Like the timing definitely
it's like changing. Sure.
Yeah, it gets tightened up because I don't know if it's because they need something from there or because like he doesn't say yes. Because clearly they've come back sooner than what he thought they would to try to recruit him.
Well, they thought they had the planet under control.
Yeah.
And going on its, assigned path, but come to find out it wasn't.
Yeah.
And now they have,
Thanks, Alan.
Yeah.
Way to go, Alan.
Well, and not only that, it's also a convenient plot device for Kirkman. Let me see. I'm going to write this for 60 more issues. I got to speed shit up.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it makes sense. It's interesting. Like the thing I love is they have this giant ship. Like we see that, like she comes from, and then when they pass Alan by, there's just these giant ships, and there appears to be like 3 of them on it. It's like,
well, and the fact that he was like, "Did I miss that? I hope they didn't spot me."
I love his personality.
How did you miss
hilarious.
Like Alan, maybe my favorite character. I just want to say.
And what I love too is, let's suppose Alan is flying along the plane of the ecliptic, and so is the ship. The chances of them, and it couldn't be calculated. That's how big space is.
Yeah.
But we always get these wonderful shit like that in comics. I love it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like you said, crap. Wonder if they noticed me. Like, there's no way that they would notice.
They notice.
But they notice.
Hey,
but I do think it's interesting that he, like, how much stronger he appears to have gotten.
Yeah, when he broke out of his braces, and seeing his facial expression, that was the best part.
Yeah, like he did not expect to be that much stronger for sure. Where was that at? That's a good panel.
Something you see from Dragon Ball Z, like dun.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Alan has just transformed into
it's like the Dragon Ball battle damage, and he comes back stronger. His power's over 9,000 now. So what do we think of the reveal that the leader of the Coalition of Planets is actually also a Viltrumite?
I love that. Makes kind of sense, though.
It does. I love, though, that he, has a fake beard and he just has a mustache.
Like they all do.
I dyed it gray.
Yeah, how old is he that he's got a gray one? You think about how old Omni-Man is and how long they live.
How that coalition's been around for how long, and he's the one that started it.
Yeah.
Could be billions of years.
They had to have halfway forgot about him if he was able to start that.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have just let, a known
Viltrumite,
just start something like that.
No, clearly he left his people. He tried to pull an Omni-Man, and he got away and stayed away long enough that they stopped going after him. And stop, because they clearly don't know or don't remember that he is one of them, I don't think. Because I feel like they'd be, but maybe he's got enough power on his side now that they don't want to engage in open war with him. But yeah, it's interesting that he was definitely. All right. So, anything else, you guys? What else do you guys want to talk about in terms of we talked briefly about we get the reveal that Kate was still alive, and her brother shows up and basically interrupts them stopping a robbery, and really talked about this. These 2 kung fu time travelers
stole the Declaration of Independence.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to pull a national treasure,
Everybody was kung fu time traveling.
Well, I love
We're
how
talking
like
about
Invincible's having trouble fighting him because he's trying to figure out how much he needs to pull his punches so he doesn't like kill them instantly.
And him and Rex are just having a casual conversation about
Yeah.
Eve while they're taking guys out.
Yeah, those guys like stood zero chance, and then until they got interrupted, and I love how they're just like, we're gone.
Hey, but there's something I want to mention about the art. Is this is my second time going through this.
Yeah.
And he's got a very cartoony style, which works perfectly. But damn, if he can't draw some facial expressions with just simple little shapes and lines, they're perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at Amber like mad right now, and you're right.
Oh yeah, like this whole sequence where her and Mark are talking, like,
Yeah.
and she has a bunch of different expressions, like, on this whole page. Yeah, I really like. I'll be honest, like
He got no relationship game at all.
Oh, Mark, no, he has none.
But you know,
No, he
here's
is.
still again his fundamental decency. You know, I mean, look, I'm 3 times as old as he is in that, and when I broke up with my old lady a few years back, it wasn't that civilized and mature. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So we get the. Are we ready to get into Mark's? You know.
Yeah. Let's just go through it.
His angst. So in addition to the struggle, we talked a little bit about the struggling at school, but we get like he's struggling with his girlfriend. Poor guy, you know, he has this, you know, hot blonde chick that cares about him. He doesn't get to spend any time with it, so she's mad at him. But he also has this, you know, gorgeous redhead who wants him, so life's rough for him. Peter Parker, anybody?
Dang, I see it. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, I did. I was like, oh, blonde and redhead, you know.
Dang.
Oh yeah,
I just totally missed that.
Spider-Man is
I did
definitely
too.
the skeleton he fleshed out.
Yeah, I mean, when the early Spider-Man was, you know, he was with Gwen, but MJ was on the periphery, interested but not, because he was with Gwen, and yeah, so it's very much that same kind of thing. But yeah, but now he knows that, like, how Eve feels, so we get the big, like, before he breaks up, we get the make-out scene.
It's like score.
But they both handle that well.
Yeah. He like awkwardly trying to bring it up when they're on the ship.
Yeah,
we talk about that. No, this is not the time. We gotta save the planet.
Yeah, it's like maybe not now.
And then later on, when they're talking, when she bursts in his room and says, "Are we dating or what?" And she's like, "Mark, did you have
He's
feelings
an
for me
idiot.
before her future self told you? You're not just feeling sorry for me." And he's like,
Oh my
"I
god!
don't think so."
And you're supposed to say no. No, of course not, baby.
I mean, I do love the whole like when she comes in, just like telling him like, "Hey,
Face it, Tiger, you hit the jackpot."
yeah,
Basically. Yeah.
But you know, yeah, he was like, Eve, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No, I really like you. I swear.
and yeah. I mean, he is sort of. Yeah, he's pretty pathetic when it comes to like figuring this stuff out.
Well, and
He's
just
a doofus.
Yeah,
and brutally honest. I mean, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he is definitely overly honest here, and like,
And I mean, he knew he liked her from before. You know, you could see it.
well, he even talked about it like to other people, and he did. He just because he was with Amber, he hadn't really.
Yeah, that whole conversation with William about it.
Yeah, and then when she asked him, he like can't express any of that, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't know, maybe." Like, I don't think so. Yeah, she's like, "You're not doing this just because you feel sorry for me, are you?" And he's like, "I don't think so." It's like, "Oh, that's gonna go over well."
That makes me feel so good.
A verbal
So I will say
response,
that is. Go ahead.
a verbal response was not required in that moment.
No.
That's true.
Yeah. All he had to do was kiss her again right then, and he'd been, yeah.
Bingo.
And it would all been
Message
fine.
received.
Very quick no. One of the two.
Yeah. Or very.
It has to be quick. There can't be
Crazy about you.
No
I
hesitation.
just couldn't act on it before because I was, with Amber, and yeah, I've always been crazy about you. Just be, yeah. So what do we think of him? We talked about it a little bit. So what do we? I was kind of like glad to be rid of Amber. I'll be honest. Like by the time we get there, it was like.
Yeah.
I mean, I realized the role she was filling, but she just kind of got annoying to me and like his whole speech about how it's not fair to her, like she can't really get mad. It's completely on target, and she had I get why she was mad and stuff, but it was just like, okay, go away. I was ready for that to be.
What's the dude's name with the ginger beard? What's his name? The guy he
Greg
met Greg or Glenn or something like that.
Yeah,
Glenn or Greg or something like that.
it was something I thought with a G. Maybe let me see if I can find him. Well, as soon as he showed up, I was like, okay, this is the end game for them.
Why do I feel like that job he turned down was something important? Like he's not like an ordinary dude.
Oh well, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I hadn't thought that much about it. I just thought he was the end game to get them apart. So,
And I just hope that she doesn't, spill the beans and the wrong parties,
She doesn't pull a Karen Page on him.
Yeah.
God, yeah. When I read about the original Daredevil, I was like, I did not know that. Well, can you blame her though? She was fiending because she was on drugs, right?
Yeah. She was on. Yeah, she was an addict at that point.
Yeah, I didn't even realize.
I didn't even see Mojo come in here. Hey, welcome, Mojo. So I guess we're going full moonlighting. Will they? Won't they? On Mark and Eve now. I guess this is where we're headed.
I mean, it's clear they're somewhere down the line they're gonna get together.
Yeah. Oh wait. Oh, I don't know. I have not read beyond this, so I don't know if I say anything that's true or not. But I feel like this is pretty obvious. As they'll get together, they'll be apart. They'll get together, they'll be apart. Like we're gonna get the they start to
get the happy ending.
The Rachel.
There'll be a kid somewhere down the line.
Yeah,
they'll break up.
They end up together because she's only at this point. I feel like she's probably the end game, like for him in terms of that.
We were on a break.
Yeah, yeah, we were on a break. We gotta get the Rachel Ross,
But how about Mark's mom's news though?
Oh, yeah.
How about love life? What about her? Because she got a new boo thing.
So we get that reveal that she's trying to move on, and and she's dealing with the whole thing that he never loved her or whatever. And then we get the reveal that like.
I think I missed my life.
Yes, I was like,
the
what?
Next page.
That panel was so good. I'm like, I'm thinking
so well done.
My background picture.
Yeah, it was so well done.
But here's the thing about Omni-Man is, we know the guy for the Council of Planets revealed he's a Voltramite. I think Omni-Man, given a few more millennia, would have come around to that on his own. and he spent it on Earth. So this is just part. The process was sped up a little by Mark, and now it's just a natural evolution. You know, he's like, holy shit, feelings. What are these?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think clearly if he had spent, because he said he had like 500 more years technically to like bring Earth to tow or something, like originally. And that they, you know, obviously because it's no longer fully under their control, everything's sped up. But like, yeah, he had 500 years to get the job done. Like, you figure he had 10 or 15 more Earthwives that lived like Earth and with the people.
I was just about to say, yeah. Like, your wife
probably
got, like, how many years left on her?
Has a few more kids. Like, you know, that maybe if Mark never shows powers and he goes through, you know, and lives and marries again and everything else, maybe he eventually does get there. Would have been interesting. But yeah, that whole reveal of her moving on and him now he's the one missing her. Payback's a bitch.
I think I missed my wife.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Mom is going out with this dude. How does she hide her little precocious purple fucking kid? You know?
Yeah. Clearly, like, yeah, because we haven't even give him like, because he's got to be seen by the neighbors and stuff. Did they give him like some sort of?
Well, Cecil said he had tech for him to like mask his purple screen, his purple skin. I don't know if he's been using it because every scene we've seen him in, he's been purple.
Yeah, he's been purple, and then the other thing is like the neighbors have to have noticed he went from like this big to like this big.
It's been like a month.
Baby. Yeah, that spinner rack is awesome behind him. I love that thing. So yeah. So speaking of little brother, unlike Mark, he didn't waste any time getting his powers.
He went straight into action, knocking people out.
And we don't even know like how long he had them because like when he reveals them to Mark, he's like, "Yeah, I haven't told Mom yet." It's like
this kid's gonna be interesting because I feel like they're building him up as a weapon for somebody. I don't know who that somebody is, but somebody's gonna take that kid and use him as a weapon.
I think you're probably right. I feel like he's gonna get. It'll be interesting to see where they go with his storyline because I feel like he's gonna be either used against Mark in some way or maybe used against his dad in some way. But I feel like he's probably gonna be. You know, what was it? Riken from Game of Thrones, where it's like, oh, you want to see your little brother? You know, I feel like that's the destiny for this one. Serpentine, kid, don't just run in a straight line. Serpentine, you're running away.
What I like when he's beating up the two losers.
Yeah.
And Oliver comes swinging in, and the one loser's like, "Oh shit, we're totally going to jail." Hell yeah, you are, says Oliver. That was awesome.
He could hold his. He could. Well, he's not. I don't know how strong his punches are compared to his brother, but it seems like for someone that just uses power, he can still hold back and not destroy somebody.
Well, I would say he's probably significantly weaker than his brother, but he's probably stronger than either of these two dudes by a lot, it appears. So
they should have just got regular jobs and they should have just listened to.
They didn't want to work regular jobs, so they ended up.
That was their fault.
Well, they even said they're like, "Oh no, I don't want to go back to jail. I don't want to go back to jail." Were you showing Unruly?
This is whoever owns this. This is hanging on somebody's wall.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. I would. Like, I haven't really ever looked, but having a page from this series would be fun. Yeah, I'm sure they go for a pretty penny. So, particularly any page that has her on it, I would guess probably goes for a pretty penny.
I've only seen a handful, and that none of them were anywhere near my range.
Yeah. Yeah, a page with her or a page with Al. Like, I would love to have a page with Alan.
That would be a
I
great
haven't
page.
saw near as many pages as I thought I would for a book with this length of this many issues and stuff.
Yeah, and I wonder if Otley's just holding on to Otley or Kirkman one's holding on to him or what.
Maybe.
Yeah.
When I
go ahead.
When I was buying my Bagley Ultimate Spidey pages, I was getting them from who's the guy that did most of the inking for that? God dang it! I was buying them from him directly for $100 a pop.
Wow!
Oh, dang!
20 years ago, you know.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's been a while. That has definitely had to have been a while. If you were getting them for $100 a pop, because you can't get hardly anything for $100 a pop anymore. It's amazing how much pages have jumped. Yeah.
Man, collecting art is a whole art.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's a whole other class right there.
To get into that. I know that for sure.
Yeah, shout out to Matt.
Stuff you can get at $100.
Nothing that I like the with the characters that I'm interested in having art of. No.
You can still find decent deals with the lesser artists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get a Bagley for $100 now.
No.
But I mean, you can find. I've bought a Spider-Man page from I forgot what series it was from one of the lesser artists, Foley Hamner, for under $150.
Well, Bagley's original ASM shit, that's expensive, but you can still find decent Ultimate pages for surprisingly not that much.
No.
And I'm sorry I sidetracked.
Oh, that's okay.
No.
I think we were getting toward the end. What else did you guys? We did talk briefly. We were talking about the little brother, and we talked about this, I think, before we went on the air. So, how shady is the tutor? Like, I'm with, like, I think Damer, you bring that up, or the Kirk, you bring that up.
Kirk that brought it up.
Like,
I totally agree. Like,
I mean, obviously,
I don't trust her,
so that makes her shady.
But I think she's been like brainwashing this kid. I don't know how, making him maybe like a sleeper agent or something, but no one talks about their study sessions,
Yeah.
Or
we haven't seen one of their study sessions.
Yeah. That's what I meant, yeah.
And I do think it's interesting, like if she just worked for Cecil, she's probably shady. I don't think she just works for Cecil. I feel like she's probably got her own agenda as well, because, like, he talks at the end, did you know he had powers? And if she didn't, why not?
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, just me.
She
but
didn't tell him.
Yeah.
The fact that Cecil didn't know, and he got like cameras in the whole house. He got the house with bugs. How did he not know?
Yeah. So what do you guys? What do you think, Damers? You think are we just reading too much into that and assuming everybody's something, or?
I don't know if she's playing any other side games besides Cecil. But that's enough game right there.
That's true.
I mean, she's talked about how many other people she's tutored and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
She is one of their head. I don't want to use the brainwasher, but convincer or something like that.
What are they called? Handlers. They're called handlers.
Yeah. Handlers.
And she certainly was easy enough to talk into babysitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind spending the rest of the day with young Oliver here.
Yeah. She's clearly, well, I mean, Cecil obviously is clearly always looking for an edge. For sure. And yeah, he's clearly going to use this lady to try to get it. So.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Well, we are approaching the hour mark. You guys got anything else you want to talk about from this volume that we haven't touched on yet?
No, I think the Omni-Man figuring out he loves his wife.
Yeah.
Or misses his wife. That was like one thing I was going. Yeah, I think we touched everything.
Interested to see what happens with Omni-Man and Alan.
Yeah, me too. I definitely can't wait to.
Oh, come on, we're getting Prison Break next.
Yeah,
basically,
we're getting a Prison Break at some point.
Yeah.
What
but
about,
is he going to go back to Earth though?
Well, that I don't know, but we're getting a Prison Break.
We got to see Titan again for a couple of pages. Remember?
Yeah, we hadn't seen Titan for a while, and we got to.
Oh yeah, what was up with that? With the guy, with the one of his partners with the mechanical beard. I mean the mechanical
jaw.
Bottom jaw. Yeah, thank you.
Jaw and neck, and yeah, it looks like he's like a machine.
The tongue.
And a
that was the weirdest tongue I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's got like a metal tongue. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Yeah, let's make myself.
When it looked like to me that they're essentially, I don't know, basically the mutant mafia, for lack of your term, and that's a guy from another region.
Yeah, basically that's the Japanese or the Chinese.
Yeah.
Guy. Yeah. Yeah, this is an insult.
Multi-call.
Yeah, well, we knew we were going to get more Titan at some point because, suckered Mark into helping him to take, not because he wanted to be free, but because he wanted to take over the criminal empire.
They animated that really well in the TV show.
Yeah.
That was done really well.
I will say that's character. Speaking of that whole thing, like that's a character I sort of hope we see again. I hope wasn't a one-off, which I want to see this Battle Beast again because she just like.
Yeah.
I hope that wasn't a one-off. I don't think so.
He needs to fight Omni-Man. That would be a great battle.
Yeah. and I just feel like I've heard other people just talk about that character, not like spoilers, but just that I feel like there's got to be more. So I'm looking forward to him coming back into the story because that guy was just a badass. All right then. Well, if you guys got nothing else, I know that so thoughts going forward. What do you guys? I know Unruly's read the whole thing. What are you guys hoping to see in this next round? Kirk, we'll start with you. Anything you're hoping for?
So I want to see some more interdimensional stuff. Like, I'm definitely curious. That's kind of where I was going with this April chick. I think she might be. Maybe has something to do with like another dimension, another timeline, or something. I don't know, but I can't wait to see more stuff like that because I usually like stuff like that.
Well, yeah,
I definitely can't wait for the Omni-Man and Alan team up.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. I think Omni-Man and Alan. I want to see that's what I want next volume, for sure. So I don't know if we'll get it that soon, but I feel like since he's scheduled for execution, I feel like that's got to be pretty quick. That we're gonna get those two on the run. So,
but is Alan more powerful than Omni-Man? That's what I want to see.
I would doubt it because I feel like Omni-Man, just the way they built him up, is even pretty powerful for a Viltrumite. Like the way they talk about him and the way we've heard stories of you and just the way the other Viltrumites have addressed him. And clearly the general guy is kind of a rival. I feel like he's one of their top dudes. So I don't think Alan's quite there yet, but maybe. Well, it'd be interesting to see for sure. But I feel like they're mostly going to fight others.
Yeah, that's true.
Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak.
You should.
Tacoma!
2 weeks,
I'll
Tacoma.
See you later, Tacoma.
2 weeks. 2 weeks from tonight, I think. Yeah, you should be on it.
What are y'all doing?
Die.
Oh, that's a series I need to read too.
So
we got John is always talking about
that's
that.
Or wait, is that next week? That's not 2 weeks. Is that next? That might be next week. I might actually have that wrong. I think that's next week.
That is.
It's the 24th. That's next week. Next Tuesday. We got coming up on the indie show. I'll just do that real quick since we're kind of wrapping this up. But because I think we're all just looking for Alan and Omni-Man to break out. Or wait, Damers, what do you have? Anything other than that?
That was the main thing.
I'm looking for that team up. That's the thing I'm looking forward to most. And then I'm sure we'll get more Mark and Adam Eve. Will they? Won't they?
Yeah,
stuff,
that was the other thing I was about to say.
Yeah.
Relationship stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely get more of that. Yeah, 1 week, 24th. That is correct. I've lost track of where I'm at. So anything you guys got coming up you want to talk about? Unruly Damers make so many videos. Damers, you got an unboxing? You got anything coming back or anything?
I wish.
No, it's all still stuck in the.
Yeah. Well, I had a couple that I got in the other day, but I didn't make a video on it.
Oh, okay.
4. I think I posted it to Instagram.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I did make a video on it.
Nice. Kirk, what about you, man? What do you got coming up?
Speaking of Tacoma, I'm gonna be on with Tacoma tonight. Actually, Urban
nice.
Bull. He's bringing that series back. I can't wait. So I'm gonna, after I get off with y'all, I'm gonna run out and grab some bourbon. And that I'll be doing that. And then I have the Not Near Mint show tomorrow. We'll be on at 7. If you guys have time to catch us, and then the Teachers Lounge on Thursday at 9. 12 for East Coasters, unfortunately.
No.
If you're
you guys are like
me,
but
we welcome all night owls. So,
I'm not a night owl.
Catch us on the rewind.
Not anymore. Used to be, not anymore. I got tomorrow night. I'm going to be on Tales from the Flip Side. I don't even remember the name of which show I'm going to be on this point, but I'm going to be hanging out over there. Thursday, we got another indie show. We're talking Fables, volume 18 and 19. Unruly will be back for that, along with Sharon, Life of Two YouTubers, Rena, and John. So we're closing in. I'm just started the Snow White, which is volume 19, and so I got a little bit of reading still to do to get ready for that. And then hopefully have my weekend stuff. And then next Tuesday we're going to kick off Die. We're talking volume 1 Die with Tacoma, who's the biggest fan of Die. This will be the first series I've done for the indie show that I've previously read, but we got 2 people who have not read it. We have Lady Fantastic and Carlito joining us for that, who have not.
Oh, nice. Carlito!
So we're going to be talking that next Tuesday.
I enjoy I'm really digging Die.
Yeah.
I keep hearing so many good things. I need to pick up the trade for sure so I can keep up with y'all.
Yeah, I think I've actually decided, because we're close, there's only 3 issues left, and we started doing this for this. I think I'm going to wait and not read 18, 19, and 20 until I get volume 4 when we do it for the show. So I think I'm going to make myself wait and to read through and to save the ending for right before the show happens, rather than read it as the issues come out. But we'll see.
Have the build.
She might not be able to do. Oh no! So we may have to. We'll see if we have to maybe reschedule that one. We will see. So, just send me a message, Lady F, and we'll figure it out. So, we will figure it out. And then supposedly, I think after that, I got Usagi Yojimbo Book 2 scheduled. We'll see if that actually goes off like it's supposed to.
The original, right?
I
asked that last time.
So, what'd you say, Kirk?
The original, right? Not the
this is the original. We're into. So we did all the first book from Fantagraphics, or the first volume, was all the albedo, the critters, all that kind of stuff. Gotcha. This volume is actually the first volume of the original Usagi run. That was at Fantagraphics before they went to. Was it? Would he go to Dark Horse? Is that where it went after that? I think it's right. Where it was for the longest time, it was a Dark Horse. So there's 6 volumes of that original Usagi Yojimbo run, and this is technically the first volume of that, but they put it with a volume of the priest before that stuff.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nice, very cool. So, all right, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank my awesome panel. I want to thank everybody hanging out in the chat. I am digging Invincible. I'm looking forward to it. I will be in touch with you guys about scheduling the next volume because I want to read it. So, All right, later, everybody.
Later.
Peace.